doing that for YouTube?
Yeah. So guys, this gentleman here, Andy, he was asking me if Bitcoin is going to become the future of money. I hope I'm sorry, I didn't realize, I hope I wasn't disturbing you as I was walking. Hey guys, something happened recently with regards to Bitcoin, which made me laugh, but also kind of pissed me off as well. Let me explain why. Join me. All right guys, welcome back. By the way, welcome to a Halloween special of our videos. So I've come out today to the woods, which as you do on Halloween. So I thought I'd share with you something happened to me recently. So recently I published a video on Bitcoin you might have seen, which was a long-term technical analysis of Bitcoin. Again, looking at Bitcoin from a technical analysis and also Elliott wave perspective. And by the way, thanks very much indeed for your feedback on that. Thanks very much for your great comments on that video. But let me just say, I got a few comments from some folks who probably should know better, but some of these comments were so silly and ridiculous that I thought I had to share them with you. But essentially, some of the comments were saying, oh, you cannot apply technical analysis to Bitcoin. That chart analysis, whether it's Elliott waves or some other kind of methodology of technical analysis, do not apply to Bitcoin. I mean, when I saw those comments, I don't know what to think about that, but my first response was to say something like this.
You idiot!
No, you know what, guys? That's not a really strong response. That's not quite what I wanted to say. I guess what I really wanted to say was something like,
You dumb mother.
yeah, that one, exactly. Now, I don't usually swear in these videos. I'm sure you know, I don't swear at all in my videos. But when I read those comments, those silly comments, I just had to make a video and make a response to that. Because honestly, I don't know what kind of person says silly things like that. The technical analysis does not apply to Bitcoin.
Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day?
But let me just first of all say this. The irony that these people come and watch videos on technical analysis and then they write comments saying, oh, Bitcoin is exempt from technical analysis. Oh, you cannot apply chart analysis or methods to Bitcoin. I mean, that's like an atheist going to church every Sunday. I mean, if someone's an atheist, doesn't believe in God, fine. But if they're going to church every Sunday, then maybe they partly believe that there is a God, right? But the bottom line is, I think it's quite laughable that some people come and watch videos on technical analysis, and then they say, oh yeah, technicals, chart analysis, they don't apply to Bitcoin. By the way, have you noticed, they only ever say this, they only ever say that Bitcoin is exempt from technical analysis when Bitcoin prices are going up. So when Bitcoin prices are skyrocketing, going higher, they always come out and say, oh yeah, you cannot apply technical analysis to Bitcoin. But whenever prices are dropping, when it's crashing, they suddenly are baffled. Oh my God, what's happening? Now in this video, I want to completely debunk and eviscerate this completely ridiculous and false notion that technical analysis does not apply to Bitcoin. But before we go into that, let me first of all just say this. Why is it that some people are saying this ridiculous nonsense? I think there are two reasons. I think the first reason why some people are saying that you cannot apply chart analysis to Bitcoin is because they have the wrong expectation of technical analysis or chart analysis. I think some people honestly think that technical analysis is about trying to see into the future. It's like having a crystal ball and trying to read or see into the future or predict the future, almost like one of those magicians or wizards. And of course, when their expectations are not met, then they say, oh, there you go, see, technical analysis does not work. But of course, they have the wrong expectation, they have the wrong mindset as to what technical analysis is all about. You see, guys, chart analysis or technical analysis is not about predictions or forecasts or about seeing into the future. The purpose of technical analysis is actually three things. Simply to find the possibilities, to identify the probabilities, and three, to limit and reduce risk. That's really what it's about. It is not about trying to see into the future and try to find certainty. You cannot find certainty. And I think a lot of these folks out there who think that technicals don't apply to Bitcoin is because they want certainty and they cannot find it, unfortunately. Now, I think the second reason why some of these folks hate technical analysis is because in the last few years, there's been a tremendous number of people now on YouTube doing analysis of Bitcoin. So there's hundreds of people now on YouTube, doing analysis of Bitcoin. Look, some of these people are good. I would say a few of them are very good at what they do. Okay, so they're not all bad, and I think they genuinely love Bitcoin and they love chart analysis. However, guys, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there, many of them out there, who don't know what they're talking about. Honestly, they have no clue about analyzing charts, and they're just putting out videos every hour about Bitcoin, every hour, every day, which I think is a bad idea because actually I think less is more. As you may have noticed, I don't put out videos every single day on Bitcoin because I believe that less is more when it comes to analysis. I think actually overanalyzing a chart does more harm than good. Okay, let's go on to the second part of my video now. Hi, how you doing? Sorry, I hope you don't mind me asking. Are you looking for truffles? Looking for truffles or mushrooms or things like that? Or?
No, I don't know, because I'm from Greece.
Oh, from Greece.
I don't know
Evcharisto. Okay. I don't know any Greek, but all right, guys. In this section of the video, I want to show you how, in fact, we've used technical analysis, chart analysis, to help us in the last several years on Bitcoin. So this idea that chart analysis cannot help us is, in my view, yeah, sure.
You're doing that for YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
What's your name?
Andy.
Andy? Okay, say hello to Andy. Hey guys.
Hello.
Andy here.
I'm homeless, like.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I was just having to walk in the woods, like, bored.
Oh, do you? So guys, this gentleman here, Andy, he was asking me if Bitcoin is going to become the future of money. And I think you're making a very good question. That's a very good question, guys. Yeah.
Because if you can change, like, I know people were changing their money
Yeah.
and putting it into Bitcoin, and it's making it more. No.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I hope I wasn't disturbing you as I was walking around
I
here.
know what, mate. I was just having to walk, like, if
Oh, really?
I get bored of sitting down and doing nothing.
How long, do you mind if I ask, how long have you been homeless?
I don't know, since the start of lockdown, actually.
Oh, is that right?
It was sort of the lockdown.
Is anyone helping you? All right, guys, so let me just tell you what happened there. The gentleman you saw on that video, he was homeless. He told me he was homeless, and very bad situation, unfortunately. He's been homeless since COVID. He lost his job, and he's been living on the streets, and actually he's been sleeping here, he told me, in the forest, which is really sad. I felt quite sorry for him, and I gave him some money as well. But anyway, so it's really terrible when you hear people in these kind of situations, you know, suffering like that, and it always kind of breaks my heart when I hear stories like that. But anyway, I said I'm going to see him again in the high street and hopefully help him out again. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. So how can we debunk this nonsense that technical analysis does not apply to Bitcoin? Let's start at the beginning. Do you remember back in the year 2017? In fact, that's actually when my videos really took off back then. You may remember I put out a video in late 2017. I think it was in November and December 2017. I said, look, this is a bubble and it's going to burst. Most people at the time laughed at me. They said, what are you talking about? A bubble in Bitcoin is going to burst. And of course, as we know, when Bitcoin was hitting nearly 16, 17, and 19,000, I said at the time, we're reaching dangerous levels. And I said, the odds are increasing that this bubble in Bitcoin is going to burst. And I said, the risk is increasing that this rally in Bitcoin, which was reaching 19, 20,000 approximately, is going to reverse and drop very soon. And in fact, it did that. And then, of course, Bitcoin dropped by 89% over the next year. So again, technicals and sentiment gave us some clues as to what was happening in Bitcoin. Now, let me give you another example. Last year in 2020, after the crash in March of last year, I got bullish on Bitcoin, not at the exact bottom when it was 4,000, but about 6,000, 6,500, I got bullish on Bitcoin in the member videos, in fact. And you may remember in the summer of last year, I put out a video and I said, if Bitcoin once again goes above 10,000, that could be the last time we'll see Bitcoin below 10,000. And again, we did that with technical analysis and Elliott waves, which, by the way, turned out to be right. Now, in the spring of this year, in 2021, when Bitcoin was reaching $60,000, $64,000 levels, I actually said we could see a pullback, a major pullback in the price of Bitcoin. Likely we could see an overshoot down to 30,000. And actually Bitcoin also did that with an ABC correction, a wave 4 correction of the price of Bitcoin. And by the way, you may recall, again, some months ago, back in June, July, I said, in fact, that that correction, that drop in the price of Bitcoin was very likely an ABC wave 4 correction. Here's a clip. And then, of course, we had a big correction, a 50% drop, which was likely a wave 4. And that's what I think we're seeing right now, the likely ABC pattern within this larger wave 4. Okay, so what does it mean that we're in an ABC structure within a wave 4? It means that once the C wave of 4 completes, then we could likely start the next major wave up, the wave 5 up, towards the 100,000 levels, potentially on Bitcoin, perhaps by the end of this year. By the way, notice, while most people out there were saying it's a bear market in Bitcoin, we disagreed. We disagreed and say, no, it's not a bear market, it's a correction. It's an ABC wave 4 correction. And by the way, we got bullish on Bitcoin back in July. Here's what I said to our members in July. So if Bitcoin can persuade us by first of all, holding above this support, and then breaking above the first resistance, again, 33,555, that could be a positive sign. That could be the first sign that potentially bulls are regaining control. But again, I still would like to see it move above this level as well, this level of resistance at the 35,490 level. That actually could increase the probability that likely Bitcoin is putting in a bottom. In other words, a break of resistance here could likely mean that we're trying to carve out a bottom and a likely uptrend could potentially start. So guys, as you can see, we have used technical analysis, Elliott waves, to help guide us along the way. Now look, am I saying to you we've got it right every single time? No, we haven't got it right every time. There have been times we got it wrong too. Again, we're human beings dealing with probabilities. Of course, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to get things wrong every now and then. For example, I got it wrong back in 2019. So the bottom line is that the claim that technical analysis, chart analysis, cannot apply to Bitcoin, that Bitcoin somehow is exempt from chart analysis, is simply wrong, silly, and mistaken. In fact, I would argue the opposite. I would say that Bitcoin is one of the quintessential markets that is most suited to technical analysis because Bitcoin is driven by emotion par excellence. Again, what drives the price of Bitcoin, just like any other market, is fear, greed, expectations, human desires, all the frustrations. You can see them all on the charts out there. So guys, I hope this video has helped. Thank you very much indeed. Bye for now.